if I told you there's a 20-year-old player on the market this summer who already has over a dozen Champions League appearances under his belt, he can play multiple positions well right now, but still has the room to grow into a truly impact player, and that he could be available for less than 20 million euros on the transfer market? You'd want your club to be interested, right? Well, that's Maurits Kjaergaard. He's possibly the most underrated wonder kid out there today. But before we run off and go get our clubs interested in him, we have to ask the question, who is Maurits Kjaergaard? A strong pedigree doesn't always guarantee success, but it sure is a good place to start, and that's where we're going to start with Maurits Kjaergaard here at Soccer Wonder Kids. But before we do, go ahead and hit that subscribe button for me down below so you can follow the channel, stay up to date on all of our content. Go ahead and get down in that comment section. Do you want your club to go after Maurits Kjaergaard, and who is your club? Let me know down in that comment section. You can leave some comments on Twitter at PitchsidePub, and of course check out the website pitchsidepub.com. Born in Herlev, Denmark, Kjaergaard began his professional career with the famed Danish youth program at Lyngby, but he entered the Red Bull bubble at 16 when he signed with RB Salzburg for 2.9 million euros. He was immediately loaned to FC Liefering, which is Salzburg's reserve team in the Austrian second division. After 2 developmental seasons with Liefering, Kjaergaard returned to Salzburg to make his first team debut in 2021, still just 17 years old. Kjaergaard joined the first team for good during the 21-22 season, but since then he's made just 75 appearances and only 48 starts due to various minor but somewhat frequent injuries. He's had 4 stints where he missed multiple games with thigh, foot, shoulder, and hamstring injuries, though none cost him more than 2 months and none seem to be related. While the time missed has caused a slight developmental delay for Kjaergaard, having 75 appearances under his belt, even in a second-tier country like Austria, is a considerable amount of experience for a player just turning 21. Add to that Salzburg's dominance in the Austrian Bundesliga, and he has also had steady Champions League experience. Despite his limited years, Kjaergaard has already appeared in Champions League action in 3 straight seasons, with 13 Champions League appearances and 9 starts to his name, including against the likes of Chelsea, AC Milan, Inter Milan, and Bayern Munich. He even opened up his Champions League account with a goal against Munich at the tender age of 18. And while Champions League experience doesn't automatically equate to future development, it does mean that he won't be intimidated by the experience if and when he joins a club that takes him back. Kjaergaard's best current skill is his versatility, which should be a massive benefit to any club that acquires his talents, and hopefully doesn't hold him back the way we have seen in the past with other versatile players who tend to bounce around the pitch to fill the needs of their club. Standing at 6'3", Kjaergaard is a midfielder masquerading in the body of a young skinny center back. That is until you see him move. Fast, but never looking like he's running hard, Kjaergaard glides around the pitch at what looks to be half speed, but his long strides keep his pace. There's little finesse in Kjaergaard's game. He's not fancy with the ball at his feet, operating directly with aggressive runs while in possession. He has a tremendous first touch and a natural turn and run ability that serves him well in tight spaces. The skill that has the scouts salivating over Kjaergaard, however, is his plus natural vision. It's that unteachable skill that was identified with Kjaergaard at a young age and has allowed him to stay at the center of the pitch despite a taller frame that tends to get players pushed out wide or towards the back line. He couples that vision with confident, decisive passes and has a strong feel with the ball at his feet, unafraid to attempt a long touch pass to a teammate, making an attacking run downfield. Defensively, he's no slouch either, with a willingness to drop back in midfield or out wide to take on a dribbler. Kjaergaard's future position has as wide of a variance as any player of his caliber that you'll find, and where he ends up on the pitch could depend more on the needs of his future club than his talent alone. His reputation for being a smart player will entrust him to managers at any stop, and his good technique and ball control give him a high floor at multiple positions. On the Athletics 18 player roles chart, Kjaergaard could range anywhere from a progressor wingback to a creator attacking midfielder, which is about as wide of a range as we've seen for a player this far along his developmental curve. But that variability is due to his skill, not his lack of development. For now, Kjaergaard has remained a central midfielder, and his first touch and ball control suggests he'll be able to do so even at higher levels, as his decision-making improves with experience. But his in-game heat maps show a propensity to drift wide to the left-hand side, favoring his strong foot and using his pace out wide, coupled with his incisive passing ability, which could make him potent at delivering crosses. The recent success of coaches like Xabi Alonso and Ruben Amorim has brought back in vogue a 3-back system with more advanced wing-backs joining the attack, and that is a system that Maurits Kjaergaard could absolutely flourish in. It's not a role he's played in a lot yet, but his skill set, with his ability to join the attack, his creativity with the ball, and his ability to get back and contribute on defense, could make him a fantastic fit for a coach looking to play in that system. Think about Jeremy Frimpong with Bayer Leverkusen under Xabi Alonso to think about what Maurits Kjaergaard could do at another level. Teams will show interest in Kjaergaard this summer as they have in the past, as he's already turned down an offer last summer from Manchester United. Reports also suggested that Jose Mourinho wanted him at Roma. It's important that the young Dane make only the right move for his development, as he's still very much a work in progress. He's probably not ready to make the jump to one of the bigger clubs in Europe and expect to play and make an impact right away. Despite having 4 years of first-team experience and Champions League appearances on his resume, Kjaergaard has still not had that breakout campaign in Austria that you'd like to see from a young player before he jumps to one of the bigger clubs in Europe. The best bet for Kjaergaard is either one more year at Salzburg, during which he will hopefully have a completely healthy season and be able to show true developmental progress, or a move to a mid-tier club in Italy, Spain, or Germany, where he's sure to play. But that shouldn't stop larger clubs from looking at Kjaergaard as an affordable depth option with the potential to grow into a starter. And there has been reported interest from Juventus and Bologna, both of whom could still offer him the Champions League action that he currently gets at Salzburg, while possibly assuring him of enough playing time to satisfy his development. Valued at €13 million on transfermarket.com, with the potential to easily double that by this time next year, there should be interest in Kjaergaard from virtually every club in Europe. That provides Salzburg with an opportunity to once again cash in, and Kjaergaard to be patient enough to find the right home for him. The future for Kjaergaard lies at one of the biggest clubs in Europe, where his skill set, versatility, and feel for the game will make him an impact player, particularly for a club competing on multiple fronts. But what do you think? Get down in that comment section, let me know what you think about Maurits Kjaergaard and if you'd like to see him on your club. You can also leave comments on Twitter at PitchsidePub. While you're at it, make sure you hit that subscribe button for me down below so you can follow this and all the other content on this channel. And of course, check out our website, pitchsidepub.com. Thanks as always for joining us here on Soccer Wonder Kids at the Pitchside Pub.